Cassilda once said, "Water and air, the two essential fluids on which all life depends, have become rubbish garbage cans." One of the many things Cassilda strived for was to let the world know what was happening to Earth and how it began happening. Cassilda was a child of the sea. He had loved the sea since birth until death. Cassilda was born on June 11th, 1910 in Saint Andre de Cubzac in France. In 1936, he got into a fatal car accident, and when he woke up in the hospital, his right side was paralyzed and had multiple fractures in both of his arms. A year later, he married Simone Melchior, and by 1940, he had 2 sons. In 1943, him and Emil Gadman had created the aqua lung. The aqua lung would help you breathe underwater in case you went so far that you couldn't breathe anymore. One of Cassilda's lifelong dreams was to buy a boat. So in 1950, he bought a boat and named it Calypso. Perseverance is the quality that allows somebody to continue to do something even though it is difficult. One of the many things Cassilda strived for was love. There are many times in Cassilda's life where he had to show perseverance and he had to get through them, even through the toughest of times. One of the toughest times was when he was building the aqua lung. When him and Emil Gadman were inventing it, they found out that if the person who was using it went too far, that they would get nitrogen necrosis in their blood and they would cause cookie behavior. If they came up too fast, they would get bends. Bends are extreme pains from the large nitrogen bubbles in their blood. By far, the aqua lung was his best invention. He also helped invent many other inventions like the diving saucer and numerous more underwater cameras. One of the other many things that Cassilda had to persevere through was when he got into his fatal car accident in 1936. He woke up in the hospital, his right side was paralyzed, numerous fractures in both of his arms, and his right arm was infected. The doctor thought it was best to amputate his right arm, but Cassilda said no. So, after months of swimming therapy, Cassilda's arm was as perfect as it was going to get. He could have given up during the months of therapy and could have given up and said, "Fine, it's not going to happen." "You saved the whales, but nobody knows it," Scott Kraft asked Cassilda. Cassilda replied with, "I'll tell you what happened. Some countries proposed a matrimony in 50 years to protect the whales from hunting, but it was rejected year after year. So one year I decided to see where the opposition was coming from, and I found that Canada was voting against it year after year. That's the law. For her to even think about it takes determination. Most people would have just given up and said, if it's not going to happen, then it's not going to happen. And I can't do anything about it." With Cassilda's persevering self, he did what he had to do and found where all the deniers were coming from and saved the whales.